So I saw this really cool video recently about how countries like Iceland have drastically reduced, like to the point of nearly eradicating, the number of babies born with Down syndrome through widespread and super accessible prenatal genetic testing. And like when those tests come back positive, the majority of the parents choose to terminate the pregnancy. And I know this is like a really sensitive topic for a lot of people. And before anybody gets upset, I want to acknowledge that a lot of these conversations and the way I'm framing this conversation is through the lens of trying to prevent severe disabilities that can require like lifelong care, and which might result in like abuse and neglect. And what really got me thinking was a comment from a geriatric nurse in that comment section who said many of the children with Down syndrome eventually end up in long-term care facilities after their parents pass away or become too old to care for them. And honestly, I think that's part of this conversation that like a lot of people avoid, because when people picture raising a child with a disability, they're often picturing like a baby and a toddler or a young child. They're picturing like these diaper changes and doctor's appointments and therapy sessions with these babies. What they're not always picturing is a 40-year-old or 50-year-old adult who may still need significant assistance with just daily living. Like they will not be able to live alone ever. And that's not like a judgment of people with disabilities, I don't think. Like it's just a reality of caregiving. And what those expectations look like. Disabled adults already face higher rates of neglect and abuse and inadequate care in the United States. So when parents, I think about the future, they're not just thinking about the next few years. They should be thinking about what happens like when they are gone. And personally, I don't care what medical decisions people make about their own pregnancies. I'm pro-choice. That's choice to have a baby, choice not to have a baby. Like that's your business. But I also think we should be able to have an honest conversation about the lifelong responsibilities that can come with raising a child with significant disabilities. And I don't think it makes sense. And I don't think it makes somebody a bad person to say, like, I'm not prepared for that. And I don't think people should be shamed for considering what will happen to a child who may need care long after they're no longer here to provide it. And I want to be one of the voices on social media that assures people that, like, it's okay to feel that way. And it's okay to want to choose to not have a child with disabilities. You know what I mean? And I saw so much back and forth in this comment section. And I just like, I could not believe that we were debating about trying to eradicate a genetic abnormality that results in a lot of people not having a good quality of life. You know what I mean? I don't know.